great day to be outside here in Chicago to maybe cast a reel or even better yet, catch a Cubs game here at Wrigley Field. And we're set for Game 2 of a 3-game weekend series as the Chicago Cubs host the Colorado Rockies. Great to have you with us. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. A comeback 5-3 win for the Cubs yesterday. And, Bob, it was just the 4th time all year they've won when trailing entering the 8th inning.
Well, and you like the way they went about it, Len, playing against a team that's made more errors than anybody in Major League Baseball. Put pressure on them. Of course, one way to put pressure on is to hit the ball in the seats. Brett Jackson with his first Wrigley Field home run deep into the bleachers in right center.
And then Joe Mather with the game-winning hit after Luis Valbuena off the bench doubled, and he would come around to score, and the Cubs would also add a little insurance as the Rockies started to play some sloppy defense in that 8th inning. Good to see the Cubs take advantage. They hit 3 home runs in the game. It's just the 2nd time all year they've hit multiple homers in back-to-back games, and always great to see Marmol on the mound.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but he's converted his last 15 in a row. That fastball has really changed him closing out ball games.
It'll be Alex White, a right-hander for the Rockies. Left-hander Brooks Raley will go for the Cubs. And for Raley, this is already his 3rd stint in the big leagues and his 4th Major League start. He'll get it going when we return next.
Your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy? Toyota. Right now you can get a lot for less at your local Toyota dealer. Official partner of the Chicago Cubs. The new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. BMO Harris Bank. Helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank. NA member FDIC. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Beautiful day as the wind is slightly blowing out. Lots of sunshine, very warm temperatures as rookie left-hander Brooks Raley will face the Rockies for the first time in his career. Let's check out Jim Tracy's Rockies Southwest starting lineup yesterday had their 5-game winning streak snapped. Former Cub DJ LeMahieu had 3 hits and has been red hot here lately. He's at second. Jordan Pacheco's at first. Carlos Gonzalez homered yesterday. He's in left. Willeen Rosario, 20 homers behind the plate. Andrew Brown is in right. Chris Nelson in third. Former Cub Tyler Colvin in center. Jonathan Herrera plays short, and Alex White does the pitching.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively here this afternoon. It'll be Soriano in left, Jackson in center, DeJesus over in right field. Vitters and Castro will man the left side of the infield, while Darwin Barney, Anthony Rizzo will be on the right side. Wellington Castillo with a big home run in the ballgame yesterday. Once again behind the plate, or left-hander Brooks Raley. Making his 4th career start, his 2nd one here at Wrigley Field today against the Rockies. Coming off a pretty solid outing against the Reds last time out in Cincinnati. 5 1/3, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs in that game. He's had a couple of good outings, a couple of shaky outings. Hopefully a good one today for Brooks Raley.
Ron Kulpa worked the World Series last year, and he's behind the plate today. He's from St. Louis. Darryl Cousins, Mike Michalski, and Alan Porter on the bases. Raley officially recalled from AAA Iowa today. Left-hander Chris Russin was optioned there. Pretty good chance we'll see Russin back here in September. So here's DJ LeMahieu. And he takes a first pitch strike.
See a couple of different fastballs from Raley. A 2-seam sinker, a cutter that he'll run in on the hands of the right-handed hitters, a big curve ball, and a straight changeup.
You see LeMahieu has been very hot, hitting over 400 since August 8th. Ground ball backs up Castro, and he'll get the out. That's always a tricky proposition when an infielder starts backing up on a ground ball, but it worked out.
Especially that far up the middle of the field, because with every step you backpedal to get that good hop, that runner is another step or two down the first baseline. But Castro, with plenty of arm, able to wheel around, make a strong throw on to Rizzo for the out at first.
Jordan Pacheco, the first baseman. Ball 1. 1 for 4 yesterday. Hit 3rd in the lineup. Moved up a spot against the left-hander Raley. He's working quickly here. 2-0. Caught the inside corner.
Yeah, from Elin, a couple of keys for Brooks Raley. And one is the same for every pitcher. Try to stay out of the middle of the plate if at all possible. Work the edges and the bottom part of the zone. But his ability to throw secondary pitches for strike 1.
There's a base hit lined into left.
Whether that's a backdoor cutter or a slow curve ball, or on occasion maybe even a straight changeup. With runners in scoring position, his ability to get ahead with his secondary pitches really opens up the strike zone.
Now Gonzalez, who had 1 for 4 with a home run in the opener. Home run was to straightaway center field. Raley's had quite an odyssey here lately. This is his 4th big league start, and it's his 3rd stint here in the big leagues. He got called up for 1 day last weekend. That was the doubleheader day in Cincinnati on Saturday, and he got the win, his first major league victory in Game 2. It was the only win the Cubs had on the just completed road trip. Went to the airport the next day, was ready to fly to Des Moines, and said he was getting on the plane with a lot of Cub fans, and nobody knew who he was.
Well, that will change with more experience, more face time on the mound at the big league level. That won't last long.
Cutters outside. Cargo likes facing Cubs pitching, especially in his home ballpark. Last year, he hit for the cycle. Check that, 2010. July 31st. hit for the cycle and completed it by hitting a game-ending homer in the bottom of the ninth. Won the batting title that year, hit .336.
And Carlos Gonzalez, one of those rare left-handed hitters that really isn't affected by left-handed pitchers. He's hit .296 this season against the lefties, hitting .326 against right-handers. And a long home run, as Lynn mentioned, to straightaway center field yesterday. Jeff Samardzija pitched it, was down and out over the plate, and he golfed it into the juniper bushes in straightaway center.
Raley steps off before a 1-2. Kick and the pitch. High and deep. Jackson on the warning track. Makes a catch right up against the wall. Wind blowing out. And Gonzalez just missed a home run. Nice job by Jackson to stay with it.
Unfortunately, that ball was hit high in the air, giving Jackson enough time to glide back to the spot, prepare himself to jump up against the ivy. Didn't need to jump as much as he initially thought, but nice catch right up against the vines.
So with 2 outs, it's Willeen Rosario, the catcher, with 20 home runs. Backdoor curve misses outside. So he leads all National League rookies in home runs. He leads all National League catchers. He's slugging .522. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Rollover grounder foul. Rosario, Bob, has 22 home runs in his first 99 big league games. 1 home run has come as a pinch hitter. He's tied the record for most homers hit by a catcher in his first 100 games. Our good friend Bill Schroeder, former Brewer catcher, hit 22 home runs in his first 100 games back in 1985. Reached that interesting plateau.
You wouldn't have seen this coming from Rosario early in his career. Didn't hit a lot of home runs at the minor league level until the 2010 season in Tulsa. He had 19 homers. He followed that up with 21 homers at the AAA level last year before hitting 3 here in the major leagues, and then a bust out season here in the big leagues.
2-2 with 2 outs.
Nissan pitch tracks. That backdoor breaking ball appeared to get back to the corner, but really does not get the call.
Check on Pacheco. Here it is. Hot shot deflects off the glove of Bitters. Castro will retrieve it in the bullpen. The throw comes to third. And on the play, Rosario advances from first to second.
hot smash down to Vitters at third base. He's unable to come up with it, but he does slow it down and deflect it into that Cubs bullpen. Castro figured the only play he had was to try to get the ball quickly back to Vitters at third base to try to get the lead runner Pacheco. Stumbled a little bit around second base, but in safely on his belly. And in the meantime, Rosario rounds first and gets himself into scoring position with 2 outs.
So they'll talk it over before Andrew Brown, the right fielder, hits. First appearance in the series for Brown. Rockies got him on waivers from the Cardinals on October 12th of last year. He was putting together a really good year at AAA Colorado Springs, hitting .308. 24 homers, 33 doubles, and 98 knocked in. Ball 1. Outside corner, 1-1. Raley's from Uvalde, Texas. 24 years old, 6'3", 180 pounds.
We've joked about Uvalde, Texas before. It's not in the middle of nowhere. It's actually on the outskirts of nowhere. That's how far out in the middle of nowhere that place is. This goes to show you can play this game, scouts will find you.
The tumbleweed is lonely in Uvalde. Still 1-2. I figured Marty Robbins once wrote a song about it, right?
On his way to El Paso,
yeah.
He probably went by the Uvalde exit.
Good pick by Castillo. 2-2. Chris Nelson is on deck. Snapped a 4-game skid with the 5-3 win yesterday, starting a long 10-game homestand. Outside on a change, full 3-2. Popped him up, shallow right, and Darwin Barney will take it to end the inning. The Rockies strand 2 in scoring position. The Cubs are coming up against right-hander Alex White when we return. Brewers lineup brought to you by Southwest. DeJesus, Bitters, Rizzo. Soriano with a home run in the game yesterday, and he's been hot lately with the power. Castro at short. Castillo catches. Jackson, Barney, and Raley will round it out.
Take a look at the Rockies defensively here this afternoon. Carlos Gonzalez in left, Tyler Colvin in center. Out in right field will be Andrew Brown. Across the infield, it'll be Chris Nelson at third base. Jonathan Herrera at shortstop. DJ LeMahieu, the former Cub, at second. Jordan Pacheco over at first base. Willeen Rosario behind the plate today for right-hander Alex White. First-round draft pick of the Cleveland Indians back in the '09 draft. See his numbers on the season and his repertoire of pitches right there. Fastball, slider, splitter. And he too is on the, what do you want to call it, the hybrid program. Colorado Rockies pitching staff, 5 no decisions in his last 5 starts.
And along those lines, pretty good chance we'll see right-hander Carlos Torres backing up White today. Kind of weird to see a starting pitcher where a single digit, number 6 deals, ball 1.
White has been better this year about getting the ground ball outs. Over 2 ground ball outs for every fly ball out. He's got a big arm, throws a fastball when he uses his 4-seamer in the mid to upper 90s, but has relied more on the 2-seam sinking fastball this year to try to get some quick contact and some easy outs.
Both starting pitchers facing today's opponent for the first time in their careers. So Alex White pitching in Wrigley for the first time. And the 1-1 to DeJesus. Now 1-2 on the foul tip. David's drawn 48 walks this season. His career best 64 with the Royals back in 2007. Dexter Fowler will probably not play this weekend due to an ankle injury in this series. He suffered a couple of days ago in New York. And Gerardo Parra of the Diamondbacks with better on-base averages among National League leadoff men. Comes a 1-2 pitch on the ground, foul. Both White and Drew Pomeranz came over in that same trade last year. Sent Ubaldo Jimenez to the Indians, the trade deadline. Talk more about a deal that may be happening here soon. One of the biggest August trades we can remember, as the Dodgers and Red Sox reportedly have been talking about a blockbuster. Foul tip, Rosario held on, and DeJesus strikes out.
White not a big time strikeout pitcher on the season, only 49 punch outs. That time gets David DeJesus to foul tip that one directly into the glove of Rosario for the first out of the bottom half of the first. Mentioned the 4-seam fastball in the mid to upper 90s, but you can see he's pitching in the high 80s, low 90s with that 2-seamer, trying to keep it down around the knees. As I mentioned, get early contact and get some easy outs. Hey, when you're on this program and you know you're only going to throw 75 or 80 pitches, you need to pitch to contact early in the count to stay in the ballgame long enough to get a decision.
He's had a real problem being efficient. We talked about his last 4 starts. He's gone just 4 innings. In 3 of those starts, to get the 12 outs, he's made at least 80 pitches. It's over 20 pitches an inning. Josh Vitters clubs one to deep left, and it's caught by one of the best in the business out there, Carlos Gonzalez. He'd probably be considered an above-average outfielder at all three outfield spots, but he's been in left exclusively this year.
Well, he gets great jumps on the ball, Len. He really has good depth perception. You can see him kind of gliding on that ball as he got back to the warning track. We saw him make a couple of very effortless catches in left field in the ball game yesterday.
Anthony Rizzo with 2 outs, nobody on. A couple of really nice defensive plays over at first yesterday, including one on a ball that hit the bag, but he stuck with it, and Samardzija got over to cover. You need to stay hydrated out in the bleachers today. We know some beverages will be consumed, but it's probably a good idea to have a bottle of water in the other hand. It's 90 degrees. And it's probably going to get even hotter. It's only a little after, 12:25? They are getting a little bit of that breeze. It was blowing out of the southwest when we started. Probably be a bad day, though, to have a Hershey bar in your pocket. You know what I mean? Bag of M&Ms.
Yeah.
Don't think they'd make it.
Not today. They may melt in your mouth, not in your hand, but they will melt in your pocket.
Yes, they will. That could be embarrassing. Two on the way is fouled into the upper deck. Rizzo hanging in there.
You know, the term of the week, Len, seems to be grinding out at bats. We've heard Dale Swaim talk about it. We've heard James Rowson talk about it. We've heard some of the Cubs hitters talk about it. This is what he's talking about. What Anthony Rizzo is doing right here. 2-strike count. You've got to be able to protect against borderline strikes and yet be ready to put a good pass on a pitch in the zone like that.
2-out single for Rizzo.
Nothing is more frustrating to a pitcher to make good pitches on the edge of the strike zone and have a hitter just get a piece of it and stay alive. You try to run a fastball in on his hands, he gets just a piece of it and fouls it straight back. And then eventually you make a mistake over the heart of the plate, and in this case Anthony Rizzo bangs it back up the middle of the field for a base hit.
Instead of leading off the bottom of the second, Soriano will bat here in the first with a man on. His 23rd home run yesterday, all since May 15th.
Cubs didn't have a hit up to that point of the ball game, but Soriano not only got him their first base hit, but their first run of the game with that blast into the bleachers.
And 5 hits, 3 of them were home runs. Really slow bat on that swing, 1-1. Makes you wonder if he thought he was getting something else.
He got the fastball he was looking for. Unfortunately, it was up out of the zone. Couldn't check his swing, couldn't really take a good aggressive cut at it. Very awkward looking, slow bat on that strike.
Soriano, one of 3 players to have 11 consecutive 20-homer seasons. On that active list, Albert Pujols, David Ortiz, along with Soriano. Just what we were talking about for Alex White. This will be at least a 24-pitch inning. Starlin Castro watching from the on-deck circle. He's in the 5 spot today. Another foul.
Another grinding at bat here after 2 strikes. This at bat may end up in an out for Alfonso Soriano, but bottom line is you're making that pitcher work a lot, possibly getting him out of the game earlier than even the Rockies anticipate.
Going to go inside here. Boy, pitch was not anywhere close to where Rosario wanted it. But it might have been a strike. Hard to get the call though when you have to reach.
Yeah, you sit up that far inside, reach back across the plate, and then fall across the catcher's box the way Rosario did. Rarely are you going to get a strike call.
Rizzo goes on the 3-2, and this ball is going to hold up for Colvin, and that'll end the inning. Well, they made him work, but White keeps the Cubs off the board, scoreless at the end of 1. .120, and make sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will get a Cubs stationery set just in time for school to start. Compliments of Target. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Raley and White had to work in the first inning, but neither gave up a run. And the Cubs left-hander back to work against Chris Nelson as we start the second. A couple of other games going on early around the big leagues. Houston and the Mets are scoreless in the second. And a pretty important game over in the American League. Oakland leading 3-0 at Tampa Bay in the first inning. It's the final game of that series. They'll be off tomorrow due to the Republican National Convention down in Tampa St. Pete. 2-0 on Nelson. Well, Bob, if you look at this matchup on paper, just by what the Cubs have done against the West, you got to like their chances because it's been a bizarre year against this division. But Jackson will handle that liner. In home games against the West, the Cubs have gone 9-1. A little bit different story on the road. They still have 6 more games on the road against the West. They're 0-13. They've been swept 4 different times on the road.
How about that? That's one of those statistical oddities. That just, there's no easy way to explain that.
Now Colvin, in his return to Wrigley yesterday, went 0 for 4. And he looks at a strike.
I think the Cubs would say that Horace Greeley is full of it. Go west, young man.
They want to stay east, yeah.
I think not. I'll stay right here.
Behind Colvin. Was it 88 miles an hour? I'm not sure what it was supposed to be. A cutter, a fastball? It was just a fastball. Ooh.
Just missed his bat as he ducks his head out of the way. That bat was still upright behind his left shoulder. The ball very nearly hit the bat.
He's back with a fastball that misses the outside corner. Colvin had a very trying year last year, to say the least, and what turned out to be the final year for him in a Cubs uniform. A very similar season that Ian Stewart had. And you had the off-season change of scenery deal as he takes the first walk. But Colvin's had a really good year this year, and what you find out is you see guys like Colvin, Bob, probably doesn't want to talk about last year. I think Anthony Rizzo has already put his 2011 season in the rearview mirror. Even if you have a good year, you just don't want to rest on your laurels either way. Thinking about the here and now, what I can do to get better. Herrera with a ground ball. They're going to get one. Relay throw not in time. 2 down.
Yeah, really on a wasted season. Like Tyler Colvin basically had. You just try to learn from your mistakes, improve the things you need to get better at, and move forward. You can't bring back last season. You can't change any of those numbers, but you can change the player that you are moving forward.
Think about Adam Dunn. You know, I seem to recall in spring training he talked about his offseason this past year, and he didn't change a whole lot because he felt like he could have the year he's having even after one of the worst years in Major League history, and he was right.
It's no secret Tyler Colvin's weaknesses as a member of the Cubs. Very much a free swinger, like a lot of the young Cubs players were at that particular time. Swung at a lot of high fastballs out of the zone. Was susceptible to off-speed pitches when he was in good hitters counts, and just didn't really see enough pitches. A lot of quick, easy at bats. Got himself out a lot, but has really tightened up his game, trying to lay off that high fastball. And just hit what he sees with those situations with runners in scoring position.
One and two on the pitcher White. Well, in the case of Adam Dunn, a couple more homers, has 38 this year. Maybe we shouldn't be amazed at the year he's had. We should just simply be amazed at what happened last year, because this year is really what Adam Dunn has been. And while it's amazing to see how he has returned to his previous form, again, I don't think he's that surprised. Good curveball to end the inning. 1 out walk, no runs. Midway in the second, 0-0.
Wrigley Field. Game time is 7:05, and be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs runner's cap, compliments of Athletico Physical Therapy. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. You need one of those, partner. You're a runner.
Yeah, I actually do need one. It's a good call. Let's check in on the Cubs minor league report. And today we focus on the Boise Hawks of the Northwest League, putting together a really good second half. 20-11. 6-game lead in the East Division, so their magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 2. And Steven Bruno, designated hitter with a 15-game hitting streak, hitting .342 on the year. They're at Vancouver today. Worse places to be than Vancouver in August.
Yeah. Boys, a little bit of a rough first half, but as you can imagine, players coming and going at a pretty rapid pace down there at the rookie ball level. So in the second half here, their roster has been somewhat stable, and they've played great baseball.
And a great place to be in August is Wrigley Field. Big crowd here today watching the Rockies and Cubs. Swinging strike on Starlin Castro. Sinker misses low. Starlin has played in every game. He's only been on the bench to start a game once. Darwin Barney got the nod that day. He was back on July 6th. Hit hard but foul. Checked his swing and hit that one foul into the upper deck, right behind the Rockies dugout. Confirmed down at first base by Darrell Cousins. And White gets a second strikeout.
And I have no data to back this up whatsoever. See that slider just off the outside corner and down. Castro cannot check his swing. I think the pace of this game really favors the pitcher. Now, both pitchers have a somewhat elevated pitch count early in the ball game, but I think the slower pace the game, the more anxious hitters get at the plate. Like I said, based on nothing other than general observation.
You might be right. Do you think a guy like Mark Burley, who works extremely fast, exploits a guy's anxiety because he doesn't throw hard, works fast, doesn't throw hard, so guys just, their timing is off?
I think Mark Burley's just a good pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Burley may use it the exact opposite way of what I just said. You know,
take too many.
Yeah, this guy's working so fast, and suddenly you get yourself in a lather as a hitter and feel like you have to get your bat over with quickly because he's working so quickly, and before you know it, an hour and 45 minutes later, there's a complete game in the books, and you go home 0 for 4.
Well, there is something to be said, and the pitcher does dictate the pace, but really dictating the pace. I'll pitch when I want to pitch. I'll throw the ball when I want to throw.
One thing you have to be very careful about, not slowing down to the point where you put your fielders to sleep, because especially a guy like Alex White, who throws so many sinkers and relies so heavily on that ground ball, you want to make sure your defense is on their toes. So a real fine line between his deliberate pace out there on the mound and making sure your defense is awake.
Steele draws the Cubs' first walk. Got a question for you, partner. You've had some MRIs done, right?
Yeah.
Anything in your upper body? Has it all been knee related or anything on like neck, shoulder? Anything where your head had to be in the MRI machine?
Oh, yeah.
You never had a problem with it?
No. It's like being in a cigar tube, but
right.
Yeah, I kind of learned to adjust to it.
Some people don't like it. One of those guys is Twins outfielder Denard Span. Interesting article in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. He had missed some time with a sore neck and a clavicle. He had an MRI on his neck earlier this month. Supposed to get another one on his clavicle, and he just couldn't do it. Quote, "It's embarrassing that I couldn't get it done, but bottom line, I stayed there for an hour trying to get it done. I just couldn't do it, man. When they strapped me in there and told me I couldn't move for 35 minutes, I just couldn't do it."
Well, the reality is you can't move if you wanted to. I mean, it literally is like being in a cigar tube. If you've ever purchased or seen a cigar that comes in one of those little metal tubes.
Brett Jackson into the right field corner. It's going to hit the sidewall and carry him to Brown. Castillo will hold at third. It's a double for Jackson.
Good to see Brett Jackson making some solid contact. Hit the home run to right center field in the ball game yesterday. A little bit more of a leg kick there than we've seen from Brett Jackson.
See how they handle Barney here. You've got Raley on deck, 1 out. I just thought that was interesting for Denard Span. He's not the only one. Can't remember the player, but about 10 years ago when I was with the Marlins, there was a guy who he went like 2 or 3 times and I think had to ultimately be sedated to be put in the MRI tube.
And I think technology is such that they do have open MRI tubes now, but perhaps they didn't have one at the hospital where Denard Span was.
I see he did get back in the lineup a couple of days ago at Texas. I think the key is to not actually think about what you're doing. That's when guys freak out. I can't move for 30 minutes. What?
Take a nap. I've had a lot of procedures done, both preventative and repair jobs. And the thing that works for me, and I'm by no means an authority, but I always try to view it like it's being done to somebody else and I'm just observing.
It's a good way to look at it. So are you like the doctor's assistant?
Well, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I've had some procedures done. Some fans may be familiar with the term Morton's neuroma. It's actually damage to the nerve in your feet, like underneath the ball of your foot and the knuckles across on that line of your foot. And eventually it got to the point where I had to have the nerve removed, and it was just a local anesthetic. I was wide awake the whole time. I watched the doctor perform the surgery and was asking him questions throughout. And yeah, but it was like it wasn't really me. It was somebody else who was having that particular surgery done. Now, anything more involved than that just put me to sleep.
And Barney swings and misses, and Rosario will throw to first. Barney doesn't strike out a whole lot, but with a pitcher on deck, maybe a little more aggressive with 2 strikes.
I'll tell you, Alex White has been getting away with missing his spot drastically. That was a changeup that Rosario wanted low and away. It ended up down and in and actually got away from the Rockies catcher after Barney swung and missed, but able to recover in time to throw him out at first base. But bottom line is Alex White is not exactly pounding his spots in this ball game through the first couple innings.
Raley got his first career hit in his last start in Cincinnati. It'll be a long day of the bullpen for the Rockies. At this pace, White would be lucky to get through 4 innings in his 75 pitches. He's nearing 50 already, and we're only in the second. Been a busy group right there at Rockies bullpen. Kick in the 1-1. Raley bounces right to Nelson at third, and this will end the inning. Cubs threatened but cannot score. They strand 2 in scoring position. 0-0 after 2. best local sports news and highlights. And that's Sportsnet Central every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight. Only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Well, the Rockies got off to an 11-11 start through April. Middle part of the year, not so good. 8 under, 9 under, 10 under in May, June, and July. They've put together their best month so far here in August, dealing with a lot of injuries.
Oh, that month of July, they had a really tough schedule. They played the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Angels, the A's, the Tigers, the Rangers, the Nationals. Occasionally the schedule works against you in that respect.
And with a loss yesterday, they've won 9 of their last 12. LeMahieu bounces right back to Raley. 1 pitch, 1 out. Troy Tulowitzki and Jason Giambi started rehab assignments at Double-A Tulsa last night. Troy Renk of the Denver Post pointing out it was Giambi's first Double-A appearance since 1994 with the Huntsville Stars. I want to know on Pacheco. Comes a 2-0 right down the middle at the knees. 2-1.
Not sure where Jordan Pacheco is ultimately going to end up on this Rockies lineup defensively. But I can envision him being a Ben Zobrist type player in the National League. He can catch, he can play the corner infield spots, he can play in the outfield. Swing that bat, has a real good eye for the strike zone. Very solid fundamental player.
Generally, if you can hit at this level, a manager will find a way to get you into the lineup.
Ben Zobrist, a guy for Tampa Bay who basically plays every day, but doesn't necessarily play the same position every day.
Zobrist this year's played right, second, short. And 3 starts at the DH position. Played first and third in his career. All 3 outfield spots. Right off the end of the bat, Raley will pick it up and step on first.
Like Pacheco cued that one right off the end of the bat. Good straight change up that time from Brooks Raley. Pitch working its way away from the right-handed hitter, and yes indeed cued it right off the end of the bat. A lot of side spin on that ball as it hopped down the first baseline. Raley made sure to trap it against the ground before going onto the bag for the out.
Carlos Gonzalez, an all-star this year. Got in on a player vote and started the game at the DH spot. He hit leadoff for the National League, went 0 for 2. Also participated in the home run derby. At one point earlier this year, he homered in 4 consecutive plate appearances. That tied a major league record. 3 homers against Houston on May 30th and then hit another one in his first plate appearance the following day. Easy pop fly out to left on a 2-0 pitch to end the inning. First 1-2-3 for Rayleigh. Midway in the third, Rockies nothing, Cubs nothing.
At 7:05. Throughout the game, lucky seat winners will receive special prizes, compliments of Kimberly Clark. For more information and to purchase tickets, as always, visit Cubs.com.
Hot and sunny Saturday afternoon here at Wrigley Field. Cubs trying to make it 2 in a row over the Rockies. These two teams battling this weekend for the first of 2 series. Top 3 in the Cubs order, starting with David DeJesus, who struck out in the first. Bad news for the Braves, Bob. They're going to place Ben Sheets on the disabled list due to right shoulder inflammation. It's never good news for a guy coming back from arm trouble. Especially when it's a shoulder. Tommy John surgery in 2010. Missed basically 2 calendar years before coming back with the Braves. Braves lost to the Giants 5-3. San Francisco last night winning its 5th in a row. 16 games over 500 for the first time this season. 2-2.
The Giants have really done a nice job dominating their own division. 10 games over 500 against the National League West.
Line to left. Gonzalez will lay out, make a nice catch. The ball was dipping and diving on Gonzalez. As you said, he's smooth.
He is really smooth. He has a second gear. There's no question about that. Maybe a third and a fourth gear as well, but just all always seems to be very much in control. We've talked a lot about Anthony Rizzo and his ability to slow the game down defensively. Well, Cargo does that in left field.
Vitter's line deep to left. His first time up. Two on Bitters. As we continue to look around baseball, Adrian Beltre, the hottest hitter on the planet. 2 nights after hitting 3 home runs, he hits for his second career cycle. Andre Ethier 4 for 4 as the Dodgers beat the Marlins 11-4, and CC Sabathia coming back from the disabled list. And the Dodgers appear to be close to getting Adrian Gonzalez, Josh Beckett, Carl Crawford, and Nick Punto from the Red Sox. And a huge deal. Another line shot. Josh Vitters is hitting the ball hard, but he's hitting it at a Gold Glover. You've got Alan Webster, Zach Lee, Ruby De La Rosa, some top pitching prospects. First baseman / outfielder Jerry Sands, his name in the mix. Saw James Loney originally. I don't know if he would be involved.
One of their young AA pitchers, Alan Webster, whose name was kicked around in the Ryan Dempster deal when that had some life earlier, close to the trade deadline. Ivan DeJesus Jr., one young prospect shortstop.
So that would get Adrian Gonzalez back to the National League West. Red Sox would get some salary relief in the future. Maybe just changing up the mix there. After the collapse last September, they've had a drama-filled under 500 2012.
Well, when we were in Los Angeles a couple of road trips ago, they said that they would not hesitate to take on money if they felt that's what they needed to do to get over the hump, get into the postseason. I guess they were serious.
I wonder if Bobby Valentine asked, am I going for Don Mattingly? I don't think they're going to swap managers.
Boy, it's hard enough to picture Donnie Baseball in a Dodgers uniform instead of a Yankees uniform. In a Red Sox uni, I don't know.
No. Rizzo breaks his bat and hits the ball foul. Well, if the idea of the game were to hit the bat fair, he might have had a base hit.
Once again, just based on observation, no statistical data, but it seems like fewer bats are breaking and flying all over the field and up into the stands this year than we've seen in years past. We've seen a couple lately, but it seemed like the last few years you'd see 3 or 4 or 5 broken bats a game either fly up into the stands or come perilously close to defenders. Doesn't seem to be as many as there used to be. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, MLB really has taken a hard look at the broken bats as Rizzo swings and misses to end the inning. And by the way, the Beckett part of the possible deal might be timely for the Dodgers because Chad Billingsley had to leave early due to some tenderness in his arm. No score here.
Locos Tacos from Taco Bell.
The Menards grounds crew. Sure, the infield dirt is smoothed out after the third inning. Every game here at Wrigley. There's Brooks Raley back to work. 2 first inning hits, a walk in the second. That's it. Pitch to the catcher Rosario is low, ball 1. Follow up on Adrian Beltre and the week he's had. Over his last 3 games with Texas, he is 10 out of 14 with 5 home runs, 2 doubles, a triple, 9 RBIs, and 6 runs scored. Other than that, he hasn't done anything.
Hasn't done much. And widely recognized, along with Scott Rowland, as one of the best defenders to ever play third base.
3 Gold Gloves. Always had that potential in Los Angeles, and people wondered if he would ever get it together. Well, he did. Problem is for him, he went to Seattle, where not a lot of people paid attention. He has been an underrated superstar caliber player for a while.
I think he's very much a misunderstood player because he doesn't smile a lot. He looks like he's angry at the world most of the time when he's on the field, but take away those numbers. Man, is he having a year.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Good change up from Brooks Raley on our Liberty Mutual pitch tracks. You can see he didn't throw Rosario a strike the entire at bat, got him to get himself out chasing borderline pitches. Good circle change from Brooks Raley. We've talked about that circle change before. It's the easiest way to describe it is if you're going to make the OK sign to somebody with your index and your thumb, and then you throw the pitch actually with your middle finger and your ring finger. And it looks like Raley has a little bit of a turning action at the very end of his delivery, imparting some side spin. Wrist kind of pronates, puts some side spin on the ball. Not only is it off speed, but it has good movement.
Brown grounds out, 2 quick outs. Hey, fans, join the Twitter buzz right now at hashtag Cubs Talk. Chris Nelson serves one into right. Well, Bob, Dale Swain talks about this particular area for a pitcher a lot. Now, Raley gives up a first pitch hit, but Dale talks a lot about slugging percentage. And this is a base hit to right by a right-handed batter. The Rockies would need 3 of those to get a run here in this inning. So that's not a base hit that he or Chris Bosio will be upset about at all. That's a good location of that pitch.
Good fastball low on the outer third of the plate. If anything, you could maybe say, well, it could have been a little further away, but bottom line is make them bunch hits together to the opposite field in order to score a run rather than make a mistake from the middle of the plate in, especially early in the count where a hitter can do some serious damage.
And Colvin not real pleased with that swing. And the cutter 0-1. I think it's a process Travis Wood has gone through here in 2012. A guy who likes to pound right-handed hitters inside, but he's given up a lot of home runs this year. He's really tried to get him to work both sides of the plate. The great thing about the game when it comes to just about every facet is there are no black and white answers. It's all kind of gray. I mean, you wouldn't want Brooks Raley to hit that little outside corner every pitch, because then guys are going to start diving across the plate. You got to keep them honest. There's always an action and reaction. You hear about guys going up the ladder, working the strike zone vertically. You just want to stay out of patterns, right?
Absolutely. I mean, unless your stuff is so good that you can pitch in patterns and still get major league hitters out, everybody needs to mix it up from time to time. We've talked a lot about Cardinals pitching staffs in the past, and under Dave Duncan, their fine pitching coach, how they would go from start to start and look at the pitches they threw last time out, because the team you're going to be facing tonight is looking at that same videotape too. What did you do in that game? Did you throw a lot of first pitch breaking balls? Tonight we're going to throw a lot of first pitch fastballs. We talk about pitchers keeping a pitch in reserve. You maybe start the game throwing sinker, slider, and then the second and third time through the lineup you incorporate a changeup or a slow breaking ball. A lot of different ways to approach your craft out there on the mound, but the bottom line is if you can throw the ball where you want to, you have a much better chance of being successful regardless of your stuff.
2-2 to Colvin. Swing and a miss. He got him on a cutter to end the inning. Third strikeout for Brooks Raley, who's shutting him out through 4. Season, including the rest of this homestand, Rockies, Brewers, and Giants, and it'll go through Sunday, September 2nd. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. This will probably be the final inning for Alex White, even though he has worked 3 shutout frames. His pitch count likely will get him. As the Rockies are experimenting. Now, it started in mid-June as a 4-man rotation. Jhoulys Chacín will make his second start off the DL. Is now the 5th guy in the rotation. And the starters with a 75 pitch limit with a hybrid reliever to follow. That's Carlos Torres, who will likely get the 5th. Pitch number 66 for White today. 1 ball, no strikes. We almost had a guy taken out with a no-hitter yesterday, as Drew Pomerantz, as you mentioned earlier, had no-hit the Cubs through 4 before Soriano and Castillo homered in the 5th.
And this may turn out to be the wave of the future. It may be something that every team eventually goes to. But at this point, it really just feels like something you would try in the Arizona Instructional League, where guys are down there to get a little extra work, maybe coming back from an injury. And the starting pitcher maybe only can go 3 or 4 innings.
In the hole, diving stop. Throw is going to be late. Nice play by Herrera. And he had to range far to his right, and Soriano has a leadoff infield hit.
Nice stop by Herrera, going deep in the hole between third and short, but Soriano with rejuvenated legs able to get down that line without a limp and legs it out for an infield hit.
The other issue the Rockies have with an extra pitcher in their bullpen, they have 4 guys on their bench. Dexter Fowler's been day-to-day with an ankle injury. He did take BP today, but I don't even know if he'd be available. Josh Rutledge is coming back from a quad injury. You have Charlie Blackmon from the left side, and the backup catcher today, Ramon Hernandez. That's it. So Jim Tracy late in the game, Bob, may have to employ one of his pitchers as a pinch hitter and or pinch runner.
Well, and you really have to like your starting lineup, because you're not going to be able to make the double switches or possibly pinch hit to get a platoon matchup that you're looking for, just because of the fact you don't have the bodies available.
It's been an eventful season, to say the least, for the Rockies. Not only the pitching staff, general manager Dan O'Dowd is still at the top of the baseball department, but he has shifted his duties. He's the executive vice president and chief baseball officer and GM. That one out into right center. Soriano on his way to third, and the Cubs are in business. First and third with nobody out.
Middle of the plate fastball for Starlin Castro. Really waited on that ball well. When Starlin gets in trouble, everything kind of glides forward. His weight goes out onto his front foot. He drags his hands with him into the hitting zone, but that time stayed back. Nice, quick, compact swing. Clean line drive into center field.
Dan O'Dowd's assistant, Bill Guyvette, is now the senior vice president of Major League Operations, so he oversees the Major League club, while O'Dowd has focused now more on the minor league system. Inside to Castillo. Cubs trying to grab a lead here in the 4th inning. One almost grazed his jersey. A couple of pitches in off the plate. 2-0. Our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Soriano led off the inning with a single. Castro moved into third with a base hit, and now 2-0 on the Cubs catcher. There goes Castro. Throw's going to go to second, and they got him. And Soriano had to hold. Rosario up and firing, and they get a big first out.
Not only a strong throw from Rosario, but he got rid of that ball in a hurry, right on the bag. Man. One of the better catch and throws we've seen all season long. He really got rid of that ball quickly. Tough call for the second base umpire because the tag was applied high to the body. Tough to see the hand on the base and the tag at the same time, but Castro called out at second base.
And the Rockies will now move their infield in. Runner at third, one out. Castillo on the ground. The throw's going to not be made anywhere. Nelson with the bobble. Might have had a play on Soriano. It doesn't matter now. It's 1-0.
Defensive miscues continue for the Rockies. They have really had issues making plays this year behind their pitching staff. This is error number 96 on the season. I don't think there's any question Nelson was going to have a play at the plate if he hangs onto that ball and makes a decent throw.
1-0. Here's Jackson. High towering fly.
Get it, Win.
Deep to center. And it is gone. A home run for Jackson. Wind helped it a little bit. A 2-run shot, and it's 3-0.
Sometimes the wind blowing out can get you in bad habits as a hitter, but other times it can get you where you need to be. Brett Jackson, to me, appeared like he was trying to pull everything in the early part of his major league career, but with the wind blowing out here at Wrigley, he sees what the ball is doing from playing defense in center field. Just make solid contact. You don't have to pull the ball to get it out of the ballpark. That time an opposite field blast for Brett Jackson.
Paul McLaughlin, the co-pitching coach for the Rockies, as White has hit the 75 pitch plateau. Torres is ready. Jackson has homered in 2 straight games to start the homestand. And Darwin Barney with a foul tip, strike 1. By the way, Castillo, I believe, was not given an RBI. Fielder's choice and the error by Nelson. Bounce to the pitcher. 2 outs. So Alex White will have gone 4 innings now in 5 consecutive starts, assuming he can get the final out here in the 4th. The Greenville, North Carolina native just hasn't been able to be efficient enough to give his manager 5 or 6 innings. Line shot right at Herrera, and that'll be it for White. As the Cubs get 3 runs, 2 on the homer by Brett Jackson. And the Cubs lead 3-0 after 4. Can you name the 4 players in Rockies history to hit 200 or more career home runs? I think I could get close to that. You got to figure Todd Helton would be right at the top.
Larry Walker. Maybe Dante Bichette.
Vinny Castilla. Those kinds of guys stand out.
Andres Galarraga, part of the Blake Street Bombers.
Well, there are 4, so
I'm just throwing names out there.
Yeah, we've surrounded the answer.
Neifi Perez? No, maybe not.
I think he's come up short. So Brooks Raley working with a lead. Matt Holliday would be another intriguing choice.
Oh, Vinny Castilla, you mentioned his name. Special assistant for the Rockies, does some on-field work before ball games. Might have been the best high fastball hitter I ever saw. Right there with Andre Dawson. You could not throw it hard enough or high enough for him not to swing at it and get the barrel on it.
1-1 on Herrera. Switch hitting shortstop. Josh Rutledge is going to bat for Alex White. We mentioned the Rockies already with a short bench. And Jim Tracy's got to use a pinch hitter here in the 5th inning. I think Jim's ready for September 1st and some expanded rosters. Give him a little more flexibility. Castro can't get it. Wouldn't have mattered. Herrera runs well. So a leadoff single, and here comes a pinch hitter. Rutledge took a called strike 3 to end the game off the bench yesterday against Carlos Marmol. That one clubbed a deep left, and it's gone. A home run, and the Rockies are right back in it. A pinch hit, 2-run homer for Rutledge. Well, as we mentioned, Jim Tracy does not have a lot of bullets to use off his bench, but that one clicked.
Yeah.
He's 1 for 1 in that regard.
Rutledge off the bench, picking on the first pitch he sees. It was a changeup that stayed over the heart of the plate, actually on the inner third of the plate. Definitely not the location that Raley was hoping for. Rutledge pulls his hands in close to his body and still gets enough of it to reach the bleachers in left field for a 2-run bomb.
Fifth homer already allowed by Raley in this his 4th start.
Really pulled his hands in, especially that trailing hand, the right hand. Really came in close to his body to ensure he got the barrel on the ball, and sometimes you get lucky on a swing like that.
Now 2-0 on LeMahieu. Still nobody out. Well, it was our first look at Alex White today. He went just 4 innings.
Hey fans, don't miss the exciting opportunity to go behind the scenes of the legendary home of the Chicago Cubs with Wrigley Field Tours. Take a trolley to get to Wrigley Field for your tour, as Chicago Trolley Company is now providing transportation to Wrigley Field through their Northside Neighborhood Tour.
3-0. I'm curious to get your thoughts on the University of North Carolina product, the former 1st-round pick. Our first look at Alex White.
I can't say I'm overly impressed. His command was not good today, so probably not fair to judge him on what we saw this afternoon, but there's no doubt he's a guy that pitches to contact, and in that respect needs to cut down on his pitches. Pound that strike zone earlier in the count. Hope to get some early ground ball outs. Threw a lot of pitches in the game today.
Yeah, when he gets to 2 strikes, he just didn't put people away today. He's not, as you say, going to pick up a ton of strikeouts. He did have 4. And he's a guy who does need help from his defense, too, because of the ground balls he coaxes. There's a curveball strike on Pacheco. I think that's the biggest question about this plan the Rockies have with their starters, going back to what you mentioned. You're trying to stretch young guys out into thinking 6-7 innings. But Alex White hasn't even gone 5 in his last 5 starts. And so going into next year, is he going to be better equipped to go deeper or less equipped? The jury's out.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, the last time he pitched into the 7th inning was his first start in June against the Dodgers. He went 6 2/3 through 100 pitches. That was his last win.
A big 6-4-3 double play. Raley badly needed it. And now 2 outs. And Gonzalez coming up.
Good to clear the bases ahead of Carlos Gonzalez. What a nice double play. Castro with a quick feed to Barney. And once again, Darwin Barney knows he's going to get contact out there. When that ball takes that long to get to the shortstop, by the time you get that relay throw from the shortstop, you know that runner is right on top of you. But as usual, Darwin Barney holds his ground, makes a strong throw to first to complete the double play.
Cargo's flied out twice. Takes ball 1 outside. Manny Corpus, I'm sure eager to face his former team. He'll get that opportunity today. We saw him up in the bullpen. He did not get into the game yesterday. Back-to-back cutters outside 2-0. Ball 4.
Sure looked like a pitcher out. He just didn't want to give in to Cargo at all in that particular at bat. Everything away, away, away. Now in a 1-run ball game, you got to keep an eye on Carlos Gonzalez over there at first base. 16 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught 5 times. Well, this kind of day here at Wrigley Field, Len, I think most managers hesitate to run. You don't want to give up any outs on the bases when everybody that steps into that batter's box has a chance of going deep. The wind has turned a little bit. Early in the ball game it was blowing straight out. Now it's kind of blowing right to left, and considerably firmer wind at this point. Still will help the right-handed pull hitters, or as Brett Jackson proved, guys that go to the opposite field from the left side of the plate.
Decent lead by Gonzalez at first. Oh, 0-2 on Rosario. Well, the Mets need a win. They've lost 6 in a row. They got swept in a 4-game series against the Rockies, then lost to the Astros last night. They lead. The Mets do 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. After going 46-40 in the first half, the Mets are 11-29 since the break. And I would imagine the home fans at Citi Field have let them hear of their displeasure. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Pinch hitter Josh Rutledge with a 2-run homer. So it's now 3-2 Cubs as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Fans a chance to win free food. The Cubs get a base hit in the 5th inning. Fans with a base hit for Burritos game card win a free entree.
First reliever out of the Rocky bullpen is Carlos Torres, former member of the White Sox. Pitched for the Yomiuri Giants in Japan last year and signed a minor league deal with the Rockies in January. Cubs got 3 in the bottom of the 4th. The Rockies answered with 2 in the top of this 5th.
Cutter from Torres. He'll feature that cut fastball, a 2-seam sinking fastball, and a curve. And throw a very rare occasional straight changeup, but mostly cutters, sinkers, and curves.
Pitched at Kansas State. Born in Santa Cruz, California. His first major league win was at Wrigley Field with the White Sox back in 2009. Bounced up there in a fastball. Danny Corpus is cranking it up. Looks like he's going to come in and pitch the 6th. Just having a light moment with Cubs bullpen coach Lester Strode. Ground ball to first. Pacheco will step on the bag for the out. Here's Josh Vitters. He's lined out twice to left. Hit the ball hard both times. Fouls this one back. One in there, 0-2. Time called as the ball got out of the Cubs bullpen. Torres has thrown at least 2 innings in each of his last 6 appearances. He has not made a start this year. Fly ball to center. Colin goes back on it, but he should have room. And he makes a catch on the warning track. Vitters is 0 for 3, but he's had some good swings.
It's a small consolation, but I'm sure James Rowson, the hitting instructor, and Dale Swaim, his manager, are going to be complimentary of his at-bats in the ball game today, because he has squared the ball up 3 times, just has nothing to show for it. When you take your positives wherever you can get them, and a young man is struggling in first go-round at the major league level, obviously they want to look at their batting average and see something really pretty after their name, but when it's not so pretty, you just have to hang your hat on the quality of at-bats and hope that they'll start to drop in.
Torres had a really rough month of August. 7 appearances, 12 innings, 1 hit in July. But in August, 15 2/3 innings, 13 earned runs for 747 earned run average. But he works a 1-2-3 5th inning. Tight one here at Wrigley. Cubs leading 3-2.
It's real slick double play turned by Starlin Castro, Darwin Barney, and Anthony Rizzo. That's number 112 on the season for the Cubs, ranking them 5th in the National League. That's a number that can be a little deceiving, because when you have a lot of opportunities to turn double plays, you're probably going to turn more than a team that maybe doesn't allow quite as many base runners. But Starlin Castro and Darwin Barney have really come leaps and bounds this year in their timing on turning that double play.
Here's Manny Corpus facing the Rockies for the first time in his career. He made his debut with Colorado back in 2006. Big part of that 2007 team that went all the way to the World Series. In fact, he set a single season record for a reliever with a 2.08 ERA that year. 19 saves for the NL pennant winners. A 1-1 count on Andrew Brown. He signed with the Rockies way back in 1999. Was in their organization until 2010. High deep drive to left, and that one is way out of here onto Waveland to tie the game. Andrew Brown absolutely crushed it. And that is his first major league home run, and it will be a memorable one.
Bad mistake that time by Corpus. He wanted that pitch low and away, a little cut fastball that actually backs up onto the inside part of the plate, and there was very little doubt about this one. The only question was, would it leave the ballpark and land on Waveland, or would some lucky fan in the bleachers catch that?
Chris Nelson bounces to Barney on the first pitch, and that's the first out. We mentioned the year Brown was putting together at AAA Colorado Springs. 24 homers, 33 doubles, 98 RBIs. And he got all of it.
I'll ask you a question maybe you don't know the answer to, but we can find out between innings, I'm sure. Do they use humidor balls in Colorado Springs?
I don't know the answer to that. I wouldn't even know what to say.
Yeah,
probably. Why wouldn't you if you're going to use them in Denver?
And conditions in Colorado Springs are very similar to what they are in Denver. I'm not sure the exact elevation.
I think it might be even higher.
Yeah.
Alex Hinshaw getting ready possibly for his Cubs debut. So Brooks Raley will get a no decision. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs. Swing and a miss. Colvin strikes out for the second time. Well, let's answer today's AT&T Mobility Trivia question. Got to narrow it down, partner. We got to pick the top 4 players to hit 200 or more home runs for the Rockies since '93.
I'll leave Galarraga off my list.
All right. So Helton, Walker, Castilla, and Bichette.
Yeah.
Matt Holliday not on that list. Those guys in the '90s were called the Blake Street Bombers.
I've mentioned it before, and I think a lot of Rockies fans have mentioned it every time they have a year where they struggle or a section of a season where they struggle. Let's bring back the Blake Street Bombers. Let's get a bunch of fly ball hitters in here and go to whack it. We'll just try to outslug everybody. I mean, it was a fun brand of baseball to watch if you were a Rockies fan, especially those home games.
But I know you hated going there with the pitching staff that was going to be worn out when it left.
Yeah, we've talked about that in the past. We used to make pitching changes going into that series in Colorado, knowing full well you were going to need a boatload of bullpen to get through a 3-game series.
Swing and a miss by Herrera. And it's 2-2. Andrew Brown tying the game with a leadoff homer, the first of his career. Swing and a miss on a slider to end the inning. We go to the last of the 6th. Tied at 3. A game show that gives the fan on the street a chance to show off their sports knowledge and fill up their tank. And come out to Wrigley Field and Rocket Wrigley on Monday night for a chance to test your Chicago sports trivia on the show. Gas Money presented by Honda. Tomorrow at 7 only on Comcast Sportsnet. You know what that show is, Bob? It's a gas.
It's a gas. It's a half a rally cap and protect the areas that are a little thinner than they used to be.
Two 2-0 on Alfonso Soriano.
Well, I answered my own question, partner. I ran next door to our buddies Drew Goodman and Jeff Houston doing the games for Colorado next door, and they indeed are using humidor balls for the first time this season in Colorado Springs. I bet a lot of pitchers that have toiled away in Colorado Springs wish they would have had humidor balls back in the day. That is a real launching pad.
Elevation is a little higher, about 6,500 feet. Soriano hits a high pop fly into right. Brown, who just tied the game, will make the grab. And here comes Castro for the third time. He has struck out, singled, and caught stealing. Well, we should note, even though he's not here with the Rockies, that 49-year-old Jamie Moyer made their opening day rotation. Remember that? Actually started the second game of the season. Jamie made 10 starts. He went 2-5. Set a record as the oldest pitcher to win a major league game before he got released. Rockies have used 13 starting pitchers. Well hit out into deep right center. Brown and Colvin going after it. And I'm not sure who caught it. I think it was Colvin. No, it's Brown. I guess when they play that game, you know, on the scoreboard with the coconut over the ball, I would have lost. Andrew Brown made that catch as he crossed paths with his center fielder.
Boy, another potential for disaster. It looks like Brown was calling for it, but Tyler Colvin, as the center fielder, is considered the captain of the outfield. He's calling for it also. Ooh, very dangerous situation. Fortunately, they did not come together out there in right center field. Both guys going full speed, fully extended. It's Brown that cuts in front and makes the catch.
Breaking ball in there against Castillo. Carlos Torres has come in and retired all 5 he's faced. One and two. Prior to today, Torres had 1 scoreless appearance in August in 8 games. That's a pretty rough ride. He went into the month of August with a 1.50 ERA. It's now at 4.28 as a result. And Castillo strikes out. Somehow Rosario able to hang on to it on the foul tip. 3-3 as we head off to the 7th. .40 flat screens, great food in Wrigley's largest outdoor patio. Come celebrate a Cubs win and join us for the Captain Morgan Club post-game party featuring great music and Wrigley's friendliest staff. For more information, including specials and private party options, call 773-404-4750. Captain Morgan's 7th inning stretch coming up. Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins. Because of the short bench and the interesting pitching setup, Carlos Torres in a 3-3 game will lead off the visitors' 7th. Runs it on the ground and he's going to reach. It's a base hit. It is just the second hit of his career. 2 for 7.
Long look down to third base coach Tom Runnels by DJ LeMahieu. In a tie ball game late, you would anticipate a sacrifice bunt possibly with LeMahieu at the plate, but that is a pitcher running at first base, so that's kind of the wild card. We're not sure what kind of base runner Carlos Torres is, but we're going to find out.
Ball 1. I want to send get well wishes out to Ron Swanson, Cubs season ticket holder, who's in the hospital battling pneumonia. We hope you're feeling better, Ron. A 3-3 tie here in the 7th. Cubs erased a 3-0 deficit yesterday. The Rockies returning the favor, and that should be a double play. It'll go 6-2 nobody, as Castro maybe had too much time. No error, but that's got to be a double play. Instead, only 1 out.
Taylor made leading Castro right to the bag at second. Took one extra step in getting to the bag there, and then the throw is way wide of first base. Anthony Rizzo really shifts around that bag well, but even he can't recover quickly enough to get to that errant throw.
And he's lucky he didn't get stepped on by LeMahieu, who's racing through. Those little quirky things in the rules where you can't assume the double play, but I wonder if that would change at some point.
Yeah, I don't always agree with that, Len. Yeah, there are some double plays that if they don't get turned, somebody should be hung with an error, and that would appear to be one of them right there.
Ball strike on Pacheco. Well, Castro not happy right now. Between pitches, he just turned around and looked up toward the sky with a balled fist. He knows there should be 2 outs.
Now, the good infielders, after a play like that, they want the next ball to be hit to them or hit to Darwin Barney and give me another opportunity to finish that play.
Alberto Cabrera has joined Alex Hinshaw up in the bullpen. Been a while for Hinshaw. His last outing with the Padres was back on August 12th. Almost 2 weeks ago. Runner going. Soft liner's going to land. Good read by LeMahieu. And he's going to get to third. That's a nice piece of base running by DJ LeMahieu. De Jesus was trying to deke him, but he wasn't buying it.
He held up momentarily until he was sure that ball was going to be down in right field. Most managers will tell you on a hit and run, they'd prefer that runner just keep going. If David DeJesus comes in and makes a shoestring catch on that ball in right field, it's going to be an inning-ending double play. Just keep running and hope that ball gets down on the grass, and that time LeMahieu advances to third.
We're going to see a Cubs debut as left-hander Alex Hinshaw will come in to face Carlos Gonzalez. Trying to keep this game tied. The Honda call to the pen, 1st and 3rd, 1 out in the 7th. Here's left-hander Alex Hinshaw, former Giant, former Padre. The Cubs claimed him off waivers from San Diego on Sunday. He was activated prior to Tuesday's game in Milwaukee, and this will be his Cubs debut.
Big strikeout numbers with the Padres, also elevated walks. I'd see that cut down considerably. Features a fastball, a slider, a curveball, and an occasional straight changeup.
Interestingly enough, he played Little League and went to high school at Claremont High in California with his current teammate Justin Germano. Worked out in the offseason on occasion with Darwin Barney in Oregon, so a couple of familiar faces when he joined this Cubs team this week. Not an easy spot here as he faces Carlos Gonzalez with runners at first and third and only one out in a tie game. Hinshaw's the 48th player the Cubs have used this season. It's 3 off the team record set in 2000, and only the Padres have used more players in the National League than the Cubs have this year. LeMahieu at third, Pacheco at first, and the pitch. Breaking ball strike. Bounce to Rizzo. Castro will throw. Safe at first. They tried to do it the hard way. 3-6-1. But Gonzalez beat it out. And the Rockies have their first lead as LeMahieu scores.
Boy, tough double play. Carlos Gonzalez runs well. They get the ball to second base quickly, but Starlin Castro has to just kind of lob the ball over there toward first base, not knowing which defender was going to get there to cover the bag. Hinshaw ends up taking the throw. And just a tick late to get Gonzalez at first base. A run scores.
By the way, Hinshaw did not hesitate. He did try to get over there as quickly as he could. Gonzalez barely beat him, and the Honda call to the pen will bring on Cabrera as the inning continues. 4-3 Rockies. Is on with a runner at first, and now the Cubs trailing for the first time 4-3. They'll face Wilin Rosario. Wants to throw strikes. He had a rough one 4 days ago in Milwaukee. Gave up 3 runs in 1 inning of work. Walked 3 in that inning. Keep an eye on Gonzalez, and they do. He might be more aggressive in this spot, Bob, with a right-handed pitcher and his team now leading.
A guy that doesn't give up a lot of fly ball outs. We said the reason you maybe wouldn't run on a day like this is because the ball is jumping, but when he's good, Cabrera throws ground ball after ground ball.
The slider got away from him. Well, I think the offseason note for a lot of the Cubs' young relievers is to just throw and throw and throw and get consistent mechanics. We see good stuff from guys like Cabrera and Dolis. It's just been hard for them to throw strikes. Andy Castillo. We got him to chase one, but it gets away from Castillo, and Gonzalez will move up to second.
I'm sure that'll be ruled a wild pitch, but Wellington Castillo will probably tell you that's a pitch he should block. Just reaches across to the backhand side on a slider in the dirt. Well, you know if a breaking ball is coming, and you should expect that there's a chance that ball's going to end up in the dirt. That time Castillo just tried to pick it clean like a first baseman, got all the way to the bricks.
Cabrera recalled on August 1st from AAA Iowa. In the left. Here comes Soriano over toward the line. Time for the Captain Morgan stretch with Fergie.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Cubs Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for its root. Root for the Collies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Come on, guys. Let's get some runs.
Some runs.
Checkers, and you had a special guest with you singing the stretch today.
Yes, I did. Judy, she was a young lady that won the draw in spring training. We had a draw that featured the opportunity to bring 12 of your best friends on a certain day that was picked for a homestand, and she ended up winning it. And she brought her husband and all her relatives. There's a lot of them down in the booth.
She did a great job with you. Waiting for a little two-part harmony there, though.
Well, yeah, a little bit, yeah. We got to practice more together.
Right. Here's Brett Jackson. The Cubs trail for the first time today as Carlos Torres has been really good in relief.
Well, Len, I think we have the right guy in the booth to ask his feelings about this hybrid pitching experiment that the Rockies are going to use for the rest of the season.
Are you familiar with what they're doing?
I've heard a little bit about it, but I'm not that up on it. But
a 75 pitch limit for the starters,
yep.
And they have a hybrid reliever who comes in. He has a limit of 50, and so as we talked about, they've got an extra guy in their bullpen. It really shortens your bench. Jim Tracy already had to use a pinch hitter. He hit a 2-run homer, but kind of changes the scope of how you manage a game like this.
Well, yeah, I think management is now trying to come up with a theory. Hey, we got to try to get these young men to learn how to throw strikes more often and to keep their team in the game. And I think this is something that is going to be used. And I think he's not experimented, but he's used it. He might have used it in the spring, too.
And Brett Jackson takes a leadoff walk. It's been a really good day for the rookie center fielder. He's doubled, hit a 2-run homer, and now draws a leadoff walk.
What would you have done if one of your skippers came out after 75 pitches and said, "Okay, Fergie, nice job. Give me the ball"?
If it was Leo, I just hand it to him. He would probably tell me before the game, in the bullpen or warming up or sitting on the bench, "Hey, we're giving the bullpen a rest." If he didn't think I had it, he walked out there, he had his hand out, and give it to him. I mean, that was just part of what you did. I mean, management was just as tough as it is now. And if you ran into problems, give him the ball.
325 innings, 30 complete games, 1971.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, Leo kept me in those games because I could still hit, I could bunt. And that was, I think, an honor to have the manager said, "Hey, if you're still capable of going out there and you still feel strong and we got runners on, if you just put the runners around with a bunt, fine, you're still in the ballgame." And this is why I think I had a lot of complete ballgames.
Darwin Barney hit that one almost too well as it'll hold up for Colvin. You make a good point about your hitting prowess. How did you adjust when you were in Texas to having a DH? Probably not too well, huh?
I had Alex Johnson a couple of years. Okay. I had Jeff Burrows. I had Rico Cardi. So these guys had great credentials. So I went with the flow. I knew I was there to pitch, win ball games, and we had some good designated hitters. I think one part of the year I had Willie Horton. So I had some guys that knew how to swing the bat.
Yeah. Joe Mather's going to hit on the pitcher's spot for Cabrera. Jackson at first. Cubs trail by 1 here in the 7th. Mather had the game-winning RBI single yesterday. Well, Fergie, we talked so much baseball with you. I don't know if we've delved into your Harlem Globetrotters experience enough.
Well, I played 2 years with them.
2 years.
And I got the job originally in 1967. Joe Enzavino was a marketing guru, and their office was on Michigan Avenue. And sometime in September, I'd won 20 games. He's down in the bullpen, and we're having batting practice. He coaxed me over to the wall. I don't know who this gentleman is with a suit on. And he says, "Ferguson, I represent the Globetrotters. Are you going back to Canada in the offseason?" He knew I was a Canadian. So I said, "Yeah." He says, "We'd like you to be a part of our troop come October." I said, "Well, I got to find out what I'm doing in October." He says, "I want you to get back with me tomorrow and give us a yes, a nay, or a no answer." I said, "Hey, okay." Next day, I talked it over with the wife. She said, "You're going to play with the Globetrotters?" I said, "I'm going to give it a shot." And I played a lot of basketball in high school, and I played with a semi-pro team in Canada called the Cagers. So I knew what to do as a basketball player. So when they had an off day, they invited me over. Meadowlark would come into town, Jackie Jackson, Curly Neal, Bobby Joe Mason, Showboat Hall. And we went through some routines, and they kind of went, this guy can handle himself pretty good. You know, I knew something about basketball, and it worked. And first year I toured about maybe 85 games. The next year about 100. Went all over every campus in the United States, from the Checker Dome in St. Louis, the Cow Palace, San Francisco, the Olympia, the amphitheater here in Chicago, Madison Square Garden.
What an experience.
Oh, it was fun. I mean, every night, entertainment. I sat on the bench for the first 2 quarters. Third quarter was my quarter. And I watched Meadowlark and Curly and all these guys go through the routine. I mean, it was entertaining. I laughed as much as the fans laughed. And then I got a chance to play.
And you guys never lost, right?
The Generals never beat us. The 2 years I played, we never lost.
2-1 on Joe Mather. Those guys just kind of like musicians, I guess, with jazz musicians, but I was going to say magicians with the basketball.
Definitely. I mean, the Magic Circle was so much fun when they turned the lights down, and these 5 guys dribbled that ball, curled it around their fingers, spun it, did what they had to do. And then when you went into smaller towns, that bus was like the Pied Piper. People followed that bus to the hotel. And as we got off the bus, they were like, "Oh, can I get an autograph?" Little kids were following us. So nobody knew exactly who I was until it came time for me to perform in the third quarter. Oh, hey, we got a 20-game winner on our ball club. And people are going, 20-game winner, Fergie Jenkins, the Chicago Cubs. I came out, did my thing. It was fun. And then played straight basketball, had a couple of skits around the world, the referee, the figure 8. Every night, man, I got a chance to perform for 15 minutes.
That's great.
Yeah, it was fun.
I imagine it was a lot more fun to come here to Chicago to play, where people did recognize you.
The amphitheater, everybody's going, "You're going to play with us." I said, "Hey, I'll be out there." And I scored some points. I think I had a couple of easy layups and a jump shot. I mean, it was fun seeing a lot of people that recognized me as a ball player. Now I got a Globetrotter outfit on, and it was fun playing.
Do you still have a Globetrotters uniform?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
yes, I do.
Great.
I don't know where the warm-ups are, but I got the shorts and the top, the tank top, and I wore 31. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. And I still got Converse shoes. I still got the old shoes I used. I mean, it was just a page in your life, and it was fun.
Still 2-2 on Mather. Wind started blowing out today as it did yesterday. It's only done that a handful of times this season. People think in the summer it blows out every day. That's not the case. It is blowing in a lot more than the other way.
Well, as a pitcher, you always noticed it. Driving, I used to come down Waveland off Irving Park or whatever street, boom, and you look to see how that flag was blowing in batting practice. And oh, jeez, it's blowing across or out.
Mather lines into center, and Jackson will have to pull up at second.
You know, the nice thing about pitching here, and I don't think some of these young men understand that if you come out and watch batting practice, a guy like Willie Stargell or Clemente and a bunch of these, I mean, they had great hitters back then. They were hitting balls in certain parts of the ballpark, and you went, okay, he's trying to pull the ball, he's trying to do this. So now you say to yourself, I got to state it with my strength that I'm not going to let him pull the ball. If he pulls it, it's going to pull it off his front foot, down and in, something like that. Or, I mean, you just got to rectify a few things. But I always came out for batting practice to watch the Oakland team take batting practice.
We're here with Fergie Jenkins. Pitching change. Cubs trying to at least tie it up in the 7th. We'll be back. Tracy matching up here in the 7th. Left-hander Rex Brothers. You see with 8 wins out of the Rockies bullpen. So he'll face David DeJesus. We're with Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins. First and second, one out. The Rockies would like to turn 2 here. Nelson in at third. And here we go. On the outside corner. We had a shot yesterday of you and your old teammates Glenn Beckert and Billy Williams. How do you guys watch a ball game here at Wrigley Field? Do you reminisce? Do you see things on the field that you maybe compare a guy to somebody you played against? What do you guys talk about?
A lot of time comparison. Some of the young guys when we first started together. Other than that, just getting together. I hadn't seen Glenn since the Hall of Fame, and Billy was there. So we kind of reminisce in that situation. And to get together and have one of your buddies, Ron Santo, get inducted in the Hall of Fame. And Vicky did a great job with her speech. I talked to the boys, and the daughter was there. But I mean, just seeing Randy was there along with Beckert. George Altman came, Ernie. But I mean, it's fun to come back here to the ballpark. This is where we lived. I lived here for 12 years, so it was fun. Fun playing here, fun coaching.
0-2 on DeJesus. Fastball outside, 1-2. That's a one great thing. I mean, Fenway Park, maybe Dodger Stadium, but there aren't too many places where guys who played in the 60s and 70s can go back to that park.
Yep, there's only a couple. Fenway and Wrigley. All the ones that have been redesigned or new. I had a chance to play in Fenway. It's a great ballpark. They've added bleachers on the wall, just like the bleachers here. They've added some extra seats for the fans. But, I mean, the atmosphere is exactly the same. You walk out on the grass, and, I mean, it just makes you feel good as an athlete or retired athlete.
1-2 on the way, and he struck him out.
Well, it doesn't happen often to David DeJesus. Normally in those 2-strike counts, he finds a way to stay alive, either foul it off or put it in play. But that time, Brothers with a 95-mile-per-hour heater right down the middle, blew it by him.
So it'll be up to the rookie Vitters, who's put together 3 good at bats, but is 0 for 3. Everybody back now in the infield with 2 outs. It's a called strike.
That man's got a pretty good fastball.
Yeah, this is our first look at Rex Brothers. He's rushing it up there.
Yes, he is, for sure. I mean, he's getting ahead of you. I mean, you have to make a decision as a hitter, especially when you see your cohort go down in strike 3, throwing good fastballs at him. You got to look for a fastball.
Jackson takes off, and the throw's going to go toward the trail runner. They're going to get Mather. He got off to a late start when Jackson ran, and Joe slams his helmet down, and the inning is over. Fergie, always a pleasure. Thanks for stopping by.
Guys, my pleasure.
Former Globetrotter and Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
kick off a 4-game set with Ryan Braun and the rival Brew Crew right here at Wrigley Field. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Subaru Cubs pregame live. Cubs Brewers Monday at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Well, what happened on this play, Bob?
Just a bad jump at first base by Joe Mather. Very tough to do as the runner at first, but you've got to watch the guy in front of you. If Brett Jackson breaks and you get a jump, you continue on to second base. If you don't get a jump, you have to stay at first. Great throw that time by Willeen Rosario, up near 40% on the season, throwing out attempted base stealers.
So Sean Camp takes over with a score still 4-3 Rockies. Andrew Brown with a game-tying home run, a Waveland blast, first of his career to lead off the sixth. Great pleasures of this job, and there are so many, is that we get to talk with Hall of Famers like Fergie Jenkins and just think about what a great athlete Fergie was in his prime. Not only a Hall of Fame pitcher, but he could get a call from the Harlem Globetrotters and just play 80 games a year.
Yeah, what the heck?
Just for fun.
There are probably several clauses in the standard baseball contract that would prohibit you from doing that nowadays without special permission. Good slider for a called strike three that time. But what a great way to stay in shape in the offseason.
Well, Mike Mussina, right? Always snuck in a pickup game of basketball during his career when he could. You were a pretty good player too in high school, I know.
Respectable. Yeah, I had some scholarship offers to smaller schools and loved to play the game, but there wasn't much future for a 6'1.5" power forward at the collegiate level. You get away with that in high school, but not when you start banging it around with the big boys.
Well, the Cubs were down late yesterday and came back with a 3-run eighth to win it. They trail 4-3 here in game 2. Rockies bullpen a lot better today than it was yesterday. Torres and Brothers have kept the Cubs off the board after White gave up 3 runs in his 4 innings.
Well, we talked an awful lot about this pitching experiment that the Rockies are trying here for the remainder of the season. One little note I noticed here: the Colorado hasn't had a starting pitcher throw 100 pitches since Jeremy Guthrie threw 102 back on June 12th. During that same time frame, the Cubs have had starters reach triple digits 18 times.
Soriano with the catch. And Brooks Raley with just 80 today in his 5 innings. Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Cubs.com shop. Without looking, and I will, I would imagine Ryan Dempster or Matt Garza probably has the season high in terms of pitches, but I can find it rather easily. One and one on Colvin. very hard, but it's going to be caught for an out. And a quick look here. I don't see anybody at 120. Will Swing's done a good job of limiting that pitch count for the Cubs starters. 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Six outs to go for the Cubs. Got 3 in the 8th to win it yesterday. As Josh Vitters will reset with the count. He was at the plate when Mather was caught stealing as Josh pops out to first. Xfinity high-speed action. Talking about that 8th inning yesterday. Brett Jackson with a home run. Mather with a go-ahead RBI hit, plating Valbuena. They would add a run here as the Rockies started to throw the ball around the diamond. Two pitches, 2 outs as Rizzo bounces out. Hi, Bob. Don't want the half inning to go by without you chiming in.
Hi, Len.
It's been way too quick.
I was just thinking to myself, but what an advantage for Josh Vitters. I mean, it's unfortunate the way the inning ended with Mather getting thrown out at second base and Vitters at the plate, but he got to see some pitches from Rex Brothers and then start his at bat over fresh, but swung at the first pitch, made a quick out.
That will be it for Brothers, and as he leaves, I wonder if he's an only child. Just curious. A Honda call to the pen. 4-3 Rockies. Behind a call to the pen, and it's right-hander Will Harris.
6 games, 6 2/3 innings pitched. You see he's only surrendered 5 base hits, 8 punch-outs, and has yet to walk a batter. According to Fangraphs, just a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball.
The difference a day makes for the Rockies bullpen, which had been lights out during a 5-game winning streak, and they stumbled yesterday. One and nothing on Alfonso Soriano, 2 outs. 8th inning, 4-3 Rockies. Fly ball to left. Gonzalez on the warning track, and he's got it. So we will head to the 9th. Colorado 4, Cubs 3. The Rockies got the lead as Carlos Gonzalez just barely beat out a double play ball. You see Alex Hinshaw trying to locate the base with his foot. Gonzalez got there first. LeMahieu scored. 4-3 Rockies. That was in the 7th, and that's where we are now in the 9th. Same score.
James Russell will take over for the Cubs here in the top half of the 9th inning. He'll be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in this Rockies lineup. Jonathan Herrera will lead it off. $35,296 in the ballpark today. Called strike from James Russell, the 6th Cubs pitcher. Rafael Betancourt is their closer. Herrera shows bunt. Outside, a full count, 3-2.
Dexter Fowler is going to pinch hit for Harris. His first appearance in the series. On the ground, Castro will scoop it up. One away. Fowler injured his ankle on Wednesday in New York. So he's day to day. And a switch hitter well enough to pinch hit. He's put together a fine season. 7th in the NL in batting average. 4th in on base percentage. He's in the top 10 in walks, and he leads the league with 11 triples.
And when he's been used in this particular role as a pinch hitter off Jim Tracy's bench, he's 2 for 7 with 2 home runs. Dexter Fowler, one of those guys, especially at Coors Field, he's fun to watch run the outfield. Blazing speed and a lot of ground to cover in that outfield at Coors Field.
Oh! 2-2. By far the best year of his career to date. And he goes down on strikes, 2 away.
Just pounding away at that outside corner with a backdoor breaking balls. That time a changeup right at the knees on the outside corner. New in 2012 is Cubs Authentics, the premier outlet for special MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. From game used baseballs, bases, and jerseys to autographed bats and photos, Cubs Authentics has the most exclusive Cubs memorabilia. Visit the Wrigley Field Concourse, the Cubs store, or email CubsAuthentic@Cubs.com for all your memorabilia needs.
1-0 on LeMahieu. And the teammates doing battle here, Russell and LeMahieu. That's low, 2-0. Against Betancourt in the ninth, Castro, Castillo, and Jackson do up. Pounded on the ground to third. Josh Bitters across the diamond. A 1-2-3 night for Russell. Last chance for the Cubs, trailing by a run, 4-3. Get Chicago sports news nightly on Sportsnet Central. Brought to you by AT&T Ubers. Coming up tonight at 6:30. Post-game reaction from this one. The Bears prepare for their final preseason tune-up against the Browns. Join Chris Bowden for Sportsnet Central, presented by AT&T Ubers, tonight at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. The deliberate right-hander Rafael Betancourt will try to pick up his 26th save of the year. Interesting, Bobby made his debut back in 2003 with the Indians. He's had at least one save every year of his career, but his career high going into this year was 8.
I think he's a guy that's had closer stuff throughout his career, but always found himself on teams with a closer already in place. But well, when you have to use your guy to finish a game 3 or 4 days in a row, he's always a nice plan B if you have the time.
Starlin Castro to lead it off. In there for a strike on a fastball.
Throughout pretty much his whole career, Betancourt has been a fastball, slider, changeup pitcher, but according to Fangraphs, not throwing a slider, throwing a curveball. May have just changed the grip on the slider to get more downward movement. That time a little soft liner back to the mound for the first out.
That was bizarre. Castro with a half swing when he hit that ball right on a line back to the pitcher. I don't think he could have thrown it back to Betancourt more perfectly.
It's like you're playing Pepper. As a kid, you used to line up 3 or 4 guys with their gloves and one hitter with a bat and just hit ground balls right at each guy. That looked like what Starlin Castro was doing on that pitch.
Castillo. Shallow center. Caught by LeMahieu. What a play. Colvin was fooled right off the bat. He did not immediately come in. So it was LeMahieu or bust. And DJ made a nice catch.
Center fielder Brett Jackson.
It fooled one of the former Cubs, but the other one was right on top of it. DJ LeMahieu, as he has done throughout a lot of his early major league career, in the right place at the right time. Nice running catch.
This is it. It's up to Jackson. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Jackson with a double, a 2-run homer, and a walk. Swing and a miss. Betancourt has allowed 1 run since July 18th. It's 14 appearances and now 14 innings. And he's ahead 0-2.
Well, that's a perfect example there of a catcher buying a strike for a pitcher. That fastball was a little bit off the outside corner, but the way Willeen Rosario received it made it look really good. Got outside that fastball. His glove was working back toward the plate when he made the catch.
Just outside, the first one that's missed this inning. Called strike 3 to end the game. Wow. So Jackson frozen, and Betancourt notches a save, his 26th of the year, as the Cubs go down quietly in order in the ninth. The final score, the Rockies 4, the Cubs 3, in a rubber game tomorrow. And our GMC players of the game, we're just going to give it to the Rockies bullpen. They really shut things down, and late they took the lead. Carlos Torres got the win. And if their bullpen pitches well, they've got a chance, because they're going to take up a lot of innings.
They're going to eat up a lot of innings, more than any other team in Major League Baseball by season's end, but they were up to the task today.
So that'll wrap things up for Bob and our entire CSN crew, led by John Walsh, Dave Turner, Keon Dolit-Shahi, Paula Ostrobar, tech manager Mark Harper, our executive producer Jim Corno Jr., Len Casper saying so long from the ballpark. Final score 4-3 Rockies. We're back with you Monday here on CSN, 6:30 for the pregame. We hit the air at 7. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad.